when a space parasite infects human bodies and connects them into one mind. The film opens with a cosmic event as a massive rock from outer space hurtles toward Earth, slowly burning apart as it enters the atmosphere until only a small fragment remains, continuing its descent and eventually landing somewhere in America. The next day, the story shifts to the life of a schoolteacher named Starla, who has recently married a wealthy man named Grant. Their marriage appears perfect and full of affection, but that happiness quietly stirs jealousy in Bill, a police officer who has known Starla since childhood and still harbors feelings for her, especially since he is still living alone. As night falls, Grant, who has been suppressing his desire for days, wants to spend intimate time with his wife, but Starla gently turns him down because she is not in the mood. The rejection drives Grant out of the house to clear his head, and he ends up at a bar where he tries to distract himself with alcohol and live music until fate brings him face to face with Brenda, his ex-girlfriend who turns out to be working there. Their renewed closeness takes them deep into the woods, where memories of the past resurface through the carving Brenda once made on a tree as a symbol of her hope to marry him. Carried away by the moment, they almost have sex, but at the last second, Grant remembers Starla and stops himself because he does not want to betray his wife. That is when their attention is drawn to the appearance of a strange, larva-like creature that came from the meteor fragment that fell earlier. Curiosity leads them to follow the slimy trail it leaves behind, and in an instant the creature attacks and strikes Grant's body.
Starla. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, that's gross.
God!
From that moment on, changes begin to occur, starting with an unnatural hunger when he returns home, craving large amounts of fresh meat. The following day, Starla, feeling guilty for rejecting him the night before, tries to make it up to him by being more seductive. Grant's transformation becomes increasingly obvious as his eating habits grow more disturbing, and he no longer feels comfortable sleeping in bed, instead choosing to lie on piles of dry leaves. When Starla attempts to repair their relationship by playing Grant's favorite song as a signal, he responds in a way that feels slightly different from his usual self.
I don't mean to push you away. I'm sorry about last night. I do want to be a good wife.
After they make love, Starla feels as if their happiness has returned because Grant seems more passionate than ever, while on the other hand, Grant's hunger spirals further out of control, driving him to buy excessive amounts of meat to satisfy the urge growing inside his head. The mounting oddities make Starla suspicious, especially when she discovers that the basement door is tightly locked, but Grant reassures her by claiming that he is preparing the room as a surprise for her birthday, which is still 2 months away. The pain that had once come only in brief waves now returns to Grant with far greater intensity, as if something inside his body is constantly demanding to be fed until his gaze unconsciously falls on a passing dog, and in his increasingly distorted state of mind, he begins to see the animal as a substitute for the meat he has been consuming.
What are you so smiley about?
This morning, I sensed a real change in Grant. It was like he was discovering all these different parts of my body.
Howdy, Mr. Grant.
Give me a couple of your ribeyes. Give me 14.
What's this lock doing on the door? My birthday is not for 2 months.
That's close.
As night falls, the changes in his body become more apparent, not only physically but through an alien urge that continues to take over his consciousness, especially when he sees Starla in the shower, and the creature within him drives him with a powerful instinct to find a host in which to plant its eggs. Even in his half-conscious state, Grant still retains a fragment of his humanity and refuses to let Starla become that host, so he hides the abnormalities in his body and chooses to look for another victim. Around the same time, Grant and Starla are supposed to attend a party held by the mayor, but Grant pretends he has to work late and instead goes to see Brenda, while Starla leaves for the event alone, unaware of his lie. Brenda, who is working as a babysitter, welcomes him warmly, especially since the house is empty, allowing them to sleep together without interruption.
Grant.
Meanwhile, at the party, Starla cannot hide her anxiety as her husband never shows up, and Bill takes the opportunity to keep her company, revealing that his feelings for her have never truly disappeared.
Hey,
Hey, Bill.
so where's old Grant?
I don't know. He was supposed to meet me here, but
Sounds weird, doesn't it?
no, sounds nice.
When the event ends and Starla returns home with an uneasy heart, Grant finally arrives with his face beginning to show disturbing changes. But he covers it up by claiming it is an allergic reaction from eating too much meat, and even lies about having consulted their regular doctor. Suspicion pushes Starla to call the doctor herself, and that is when she realizes Grant has been lying.
Baby, what happened to your face?
Don't look at me like that.
We gotta get you to the hospital.
No. I'll be all right. I have a little reaction, that's all. I already saw Dr. Carl. Gave me a prescription.
Without her knowledge, Grant has been gathering large amounts of meat, not beef, but dog meat, which he uses to feed Brenda, whom he has hidden in an isolated shack in the middle of the woods as she slowly transforms into the central vessel for the creature's reproduction. The following night, Bill comes to Starla with the report that Brenda has gone missing from the house where she works, and based on the neighbors' statements, Grant becomes a prime suspect in the disappearance. Starla's anxiety grows even stronger, especially because her husband still has not come home until she remembers the basement she has always been forbidden to enter and forces it open.
Grant around by any chance?
No, he's not home from work yet.
Girl disappeared Friday night. Signs of a struggle in the house.
Have him give me a call as soon as he gets in. People saw Grant going into her house.
Her suspicions are confirmed when she finds the room filled with the remains of dead dogs, sending her into a panic and making her call Bill immediately. But before help arrives, Grant returns and realizes that his secret has been exposed. Although he tries to calm Starla by insisting that he would never hurt her, the situation is already beyond control, and the police arrive just in time, forcing him to flee.
Bill, you need to get back here right now.
I'm too ugly for you now, Daddy.
The next day, the town becomes increasingly chaotic as reports of missing dogs continue to spread, while Bill and his fellow officers begin discussing Grant's impossible physical changes, particularly his tentacle-like arm. The discovery of dog carcasses at the edge of the woods leads them to organize a hunting operation with the help of local hunters, using a cow as bait at a location believed to be Grant's path of movement. Starla, who learns of the plan, insists on joining despite being forbidden because she believes she might be the only one who can still reach the man he used to be.
He drug the cow through here, slay all them dogs by himself.
Gather some folks together. I think I know where Dr. Doolittle's gonna strike next.
Let's go get that son of a bitch, Chief.
Yeah.
You seen this guy?
No, we got this grenade we confiscated from them.
I heard you going to get Grant.
Yeah,
I think I should go with you.
When everyone has taken their positions, Jack becomes the first to see Grant's form, which is now completely inhuman.
You remember that time we were kids? If there was anyone who could take care of herself.
In the middle of that tense moment, Starla approaches him and begs him to stop all the horror, even asking him to get medical help if he is truly sick. The tension in the middle of the forest reaches its peak when one of the hunters points his gun at Grant and demands to know where Brenda is, threatening to shoot if he refuses. The threat ends in tragedy, because in a split second, a tentacle lashes out from Grant's body with brutal force, killing the hunter instantly.
Grant, you're just sick as all. It's gonna be all right, Grant. We're just here to take you to get some help.
Stop right there, you son of a bitch.
Panic erupts, and Grant uses the chaos to escape deeper into the woods, forcing Bill's group to chase him until they arrive at a remote shack filled with a nauseating stench. Inside, they find Brenda in a condition that is almost beyond recognition, her body grotesquely swollen from the alien eggs writhing beneath her skin, making her scream in hunger while begging to be fed anything in front of her. Realizing the situation cannot be allowed to continue, Bill tries to drag her out of the place, but before he can do so, her body can no longer withstand the pressure and explodes, releasing a wave of worm-like creatures that immediately swarm the officers and enter their bodies through their mouths one by one.
What's that smell?
Something dead.
Something's wrong with me. No one's seeing me like this. I'm so fucking hungry, Bill.
What's going on here? I think we best get you to the hospital right quick.
In the chaos, Jack nearly becomes a victim when one of the creatures almost forces its way inside him, making him stumble back in horror with a sickening sensation that lingers, while Bill quickly saves himself and Starla by clamping their mouths shut until the swarm moves on in search of other hosts. At the same time, the creatures spread to the house of a resident where a woman named Kelly is relaxing in a bathtub while listening to music through her earphones, completely unaware that they have already crept into the house. When she realizes that something is trying to enter her body, Kelly fights desperately to resist and accidentally comes into contact with the creature's blood, which gives her flashes of information about the origin of the parasite and the realization that all the infected are under the control of a single hive mind. That knowledge comes together with a horrifying discovery when she finds that her mother and her younger siblings have already been taken over, forcing her to flee into a car as the only safe place while the worms keep searching for a way in. On the other side, Bill, unable to reach the police station because of the lost signal, decides to use the radio in the patrol car despite the danger, while Jack and Starla remain there fully conscious and try to hold the situation together as the officers who had collapsed begin to rise again in an unnatural state. When the infected victims start speaking in Grant's voice and then spew a deadly substance, Starla is forced to fight back to survive.
It's goddamn biological weapons. That's what it is.
Now you can sue right.
Marriage. It's the sacred, not make Brenda one.
You need to get some rest. You're sick. Why are you talking like Grant?
'Cause I am Grant.
Get away from her! I am gonna shoot you, I swear to God!
Meanwhile, Kelly, who is almost captured by her own family, is saved when Bill arrives and distracts them, and the two of them immediately escape in the police car.
It's not to be with your family. This is family.
The hell you doing? Come on.
During the drive, Bill sees Starla and Jack being chased by one of the transformed officers and without hesitation rams the car to save them. In that desperate moment, Bill finally manages to get through on the patrol car radio and connects with the female operator at the station, quickly explaining the chaos and asking for immediate backup. Realizing they cannot survive much longer in the open, he decides that the only option is to bring everyone who is still alive to the police station, which is considered the safest place and has the necessary weapons. After the transmission ends, they move there as fast as possible. On the way, Kelly finally tells them about what she experienced after touching the creature's blood, explaining that through the flashes of memory she saw the true origin of the parasite, a single master organism capable of absorbing the consciousness of its hosts and controlling them within one shared network. The creature does not live on just one world, but travels from planet to planet, reproducing by turning living beings into vessels, taking over entire ecosystems before moving on to the next. Kelly's explanation makes them realize that what they are facing is not a local outbreak, but a cycle of invasion that has happened countless times across many worlds, and that the only way to stop it is to kill the queen inside Grant's body. Their escape ends in a crash that leaves Starla and Jack captured by the townspeople who are already under the parasite's control, while Bill and Kelly manage to get away and quickly realize that the only way to stop everything is to kill the queen. From Kelly's explanation, once the host of the hive mind dies, all the controlled bodies will collapse. So Bill decides to head to the police station to retrieve a grenade as their final weapon. He tells Kelly to wait outside while he goes in to look for the armory, but the place is no longer the safe refuge he expected, because the female operator he spoke to earlier is already dead, and an infected police dog is roaming aggressively through the building. Bill almost becomes its next victim if Kelly does not arrive in time to help him, and after securing the last grenade, along with several firearms, they immediately make their way to Grant's house, which has now become the center of the infestation. When they arrive, they see the transformed victims preparing Starla, as if for a ritual, while other captives are being gathered as food for future hosts.
Bring the bodies.
Probably new.
Inside the house, Starla regains consciousness to find herself cleaned and dressed in different clothes, as though she is being prepared for something, while from outside, she hears voices calling her name over and over. With the windows boarded shut, she has no choice but to step into the main room and search for anything she can use as a weapon. Elsewhere, Jack, who has already become a host, begins to lose control of his body, and the inhuman hunger forces him to feed on human flesh. When Starla finally sees the source of the voices, she realizes that all the infected have merged into Grant's grotesque, massive form, and Bill uses that moment to set his plan into motion. In the middle of the nightmare, Starla chooses to speak to Grant, reminding him of their memories and the love they once shared, confessing her regret and assuring him that she will remain by his side no matter what he has become. Her words stir what little human consciousness is left in him, and in that brief moment of hesitation, she drives the sharp object she is holding into his body. The attack triggers Grant's fury, and he immediately lashes out at her.
Until I'm everywhere.
I know you don't want to hurt me, Grant. You like these memories after all these changes. 'Cause you're lonely, right? 'Cause you and I, we could be together. I'm here for you.
In the chaos, Bill encounters Jack, who can no longer endure the pain and begs to be killed, and Bill is forced to grant his request before continuing his search for Starla. Bill's attempt to throw the grenade fails when one of Grant's tentacles slams into him, sending it off course and causing the explosion to go off in the wrong place. As the creature tries to use Bill's body as a vessel for its eggs, Bill uses the last of his strength to fight back by redirecting the tentacle that has pierced him into an open gas cylinder, forcing Grant's body to fill with gas. With his remaining strength, he tells Starla to shoot Grant with the pistol that has fallen nearby. The shot triggers a massive explosion that finally destroys the Queen. Grant's death instantly severs the hive mind's control over all its hosts, including the eggs inside Bill, and within seconds, every person who had been infected by the larvae stops moving at the same time and collapses lifeless. Morning arrives in eerie silence as Bill, Starla, and Kelly walk out into a town filled with bodies, as if the nightmare has finally ended. But the film closes with one final sign that the terror is not truly over, when a cat becomes the new host for the last surviving parasite, a hint that the threat has not been completely eradicated, and the story comes to an end.